Well, I think it was more default than to be able to take any credit, to be quite honest. South Africa at that time was very much a male-dominated society in law. To give you an idea, that when I did my articles in '92 in Cape Town, from all the law firms, there was only one female director of a law firm.
Wow.
That was in '92. And which is hard to believe. You can almost not believe that that is true, but it is true. And it's very different now. But then what happened when I was pregnant in my last year of articles, which was in '94, I fell pregnant in the last 6 months with my first child, and I was late 30s already. And so my, what do you call it, my articles, I don't know what you call it in other jurisdictions, my 2 years of training that you've got to do before you get admitted as an attorney. So we call it articles, or we call it a candidate attorney. And I didn't go permanently, or was not offered a position permanently in the firm. So then my child was born, and then the last 6 months of the year I lectured at the University of Western Cape in company law and negotiable instruments. And then the following year, I fell pregnant very quickly and had my second son in '95, 13 months later. And I was looking, and I was looking, and I was looking and applying for jobs, and I wasn't getting. And I was giving a presentation to a child welfare society, and I was discussing it with the co-person who's presenting with me. And I mentioned I couldn't obtain a job as a litigator. And he said, "You're never going to get one because you're female with 2 children."
Really?
And so it was very much of the, and he said to me, "How are you going to do an urgent application if you've got children to pick up from creche and stuff?" And I was horrified, and I was angry, but I did then reflect, and it made me realize that perhaps that was the reason why I hadn't found a job in about 5-6 months. I hadn't been able to secure employment. Up until that point, it's always easier to see where the lack is in oneself, or try and see what it is that you lack, because you can't believe it's something as fundamental as only being female and a mother of 2 children. And I thought, well, if that's so, and if I'm not going to get a job, I'm going to have to create that for myself. And that's what I started, and that's how it happened. So it was default. It wasn't designed. It wasn't my vision. So it happened from a very negative situation, actually. But I've never regretted it.